One thing I really like about hammock camping is that first thing you set up is the fly, and then you warm and dry under the fly. You can get into dry clothes, set your hammock up, and then you just chuck everything in the hammock and it's off the ground. Chuck it all in there, chuck your sleeping bag in, you can sit on it, use it as a seat. If you want to take your shoes and socks off, you can lounge back, read a book. I do like the idea of hammock camping, I just don't sleep well in hammocks. It takes me about 5 nights to get used to sleeping in a hammock, and then by that time it's almost time to head home. So if I slept in one all the time, I'd probably get used to it and it would be grand, but I'm not a great fan of hammocks. I do like them to chill out in the afternoon and read a book in. Yep, yes indeed. This is the DD Hammocks extra large setup. The things I like about this hammock are these poles. Well, I kind of like them and I don't like them. They're good because they keep the insect mesh well off you, so you can sleep with your arms like that, and the mosquitoes can't bite you through the material. But the disadvantage of them is they're heavy. They add a lot of weight to the hammock. This extra large hammock is good. It's nice and wide and really long. You could probably fit 2 people at a pinch. I don't know how comfortable you'd sleep. Probably not very. Good to hang out and read a book with your significant other. But it's good. It's good for me because I'm quite long. That's where some of the other hammock brands I've used haven't been that great, because I've been about that much too long for them, and my feet have been up on a bit of a U. Well, my feet have been elevated, so I've been sleeping like this on my side, which is really uncomfortable. But this one's good. This one I can sleep on my side comfortably. It seems to be fairly robust. Like I said, I haven't used it that much. It does have a double layer bottom, and you can actually put an air mattress under there. I've got an underquilt. I made my own underquilt out of an old sleeping bag. I just cut it down, sewed it back up. You can see there it is. It's the old underquilt, and I've just put elastics, bands in it to go around the ends. This system here is okay. The cord on it, I think the cord could be better quality. This is that flat stuff, and as you can see, it's starting to fray already. And I've only used this for 2 days, so I'd imagine after a lot of use this cord would fray. But you could just get an aftermarket cord, get something a bit more durable, because it just feeds through this little slot there. So they have been mass produced, these hammocks here. They seem to be a fairly good design, but I don't know if I'd choose this over some of the other brands. I've talked to some other people. Bryce has actually got one of these. He's happy with it, but he hasn't done a huge amount of hammock camping like I have. I think if I was shorter, 5 foot and under, I'd probably choose one of the other brands, but if I was 6 foot and over, I'd go with the DD Hammock, because it is made for larger people. They say the other brands are made for larger people, but they're not quite long enough for me. I'm 6'3", so I'm fairly tall and 100 kg, so I'm fairly heavy as well. What else can I say about this hammock? Oh, it's not sold with the fly. Fly comes separate, and the underquilt and everything else comes separate. I think it should be sold as one package deal. So I got the hammock, and it didn't have a fly with it, so I have to use my Stoney Creek fly, which is good, but it only just pokes out the end. If it was really heavy torrential rain, I'd probably get a wee bit of water coming in. The other thing about this hammock here is it has twin strings, so you'd have to tie a knot with a stick in it to stop the water wicking down the strings. You just remember to do that. Tie a clove hitch and poke a stick through it. Even 2 clove hitches and 2 sticks per piece of string. Otherwise what happens is the water runs down the tree, and then it runs down the cord, and then it runs into your hammock, and the hammock slowly wicks water into it from either end. So that's really important to note. If you are going to be using a hammock for extended trips, especially trips if it's raining, you've got to remember to do that, otherwise your hammock will get wet. Yes, so that's it, the DD Hammocks. Nice and spacious. It does have a string running down the centre line as well that you can hang stuff on. Once again, not quite as good as the other brand that comes to mind that has the centre string running down, because once you start to put a bit of weight on the string in the DB hammocks, it pulls tight. You could probably tie a string to the end of the bit of, you could tie a string to there and pull it tight that way. You could remedy that problem. You could clip a little carabiner on and have that string coming down to here, and then that would be super tight. So yeah, I guess you could remedy that problem. Just ignore that last statement. And it does have attachment points on it. I'm not too sure what they're for. It has a few of them around here actually. Maybe they're to feed the poles through, I'm not too sure. There was nothing in the instructions about it. But yeah, so there it is, the DD hammocks in all of its glory. I've slept in it for 2 nights. Both nights I didn't have a great sleep, but I am not a great sleeper in a hammock. I like to sleep on my side, not my back. So hammocks are more suitable to people who like sleeping on their backs. Weka loves them. Weka loves sleeping in his hammock, he really does. So tonight I'm not going to pitch it in the trees. I'm going to put it on the ground and use it as a tent. So I'll let you know how that goes tomorrow morning. And I'm going to use the Big Agnes air mattress, which is bloody awesome. I've used that a few times now. I've got a Thermarest Neo Air X-Therm at the moment that I use, and I thought I'd give this Big Agnes a go. Very happy with the Big Agnes so far. Once again, I've only just used it a couple of times. I haven't put it through its paces yet. So this is mainly just a review on how comfortable it is, not on how durable it is. Oh yes, it also has zippers on either side, so you can get into it from this side and the other side, which is convenient. I also like the airflow on this hammock. Plenty of room inside there, plenty of room for air to get through, so you don't choke on fumes at night. Alright, review number 2, coming straight at you from deep in Fiordland, is the Stoney Creek Bomber Fly. This thing is bomber. It comes with a variety of useful features, such as metal rings around the outside, making it easier to tension the tarp. It also has little Velcro, not Velcro, what do you call that stuff? Elastic loops, so you can stuff the guy lines in. Just as an example of how well used this thing is, have a look at the string here, all the guy lines. There you go, very faded and well used. And also have a look at the edge of the tarp. You'll be able to see the edge goes like this because of all the strain that's been put on it from using it in gale force winds. Look at this corner, it's loaded up and it still hasn't torn. I thought it was going to rip today because it's pretty old and it's been through a couple of, well, hurricanes, I guess. Look at that, she's loaded up to the nines and a lot of pressure on there and still hasn't ripped. Yep, is it the Bomber? It is the Stoney Creek. No, it doesn't say. Anyway, let's go around this side here. Have a look down the bloody side. Yes, it's a pretty good fly, and if you've got a hammock, you can actually set this fly up around the hammock and completely enclose the hammock by folding the corners in, so you're actually completely enclosed. You can overlap either end, so even if the rain's blowing horizontally, it can't get into your hammock. Pretty bloody good Stoney Creek, well done, and I'm happy to give this one the thumbs up after using it for 3 years. It's even got holes all burnt in the top from fires. Kanuka bits going up and then coming down and burning holes in the damn thing. Stoney Creek Black Stag 750. The sleeping bag's a humdinger. It's an absolute humdinger. I'm very happy with it. It's not quite warm enough for alpine hunting. You can take it, but you've got to wear fleece and polypro as well as being in the sleeping bag. But for 3 seasons hunting, fantastic. Packs down really small, and then if it does get a bit cold at nights in the spring and autumn, you're covered because it's warm enough for 3 seasons. I've had this for 5 years now. The sleeping bag is 5 years old. I have thrashed the tits off it. It is my go-to sleeping bag for all of my summer missions. And for my winter missions, I've got the other Black Stag 900 loft, I think, I think it's 900 loft, the other Black Stag. I've also had that for 4 years, 3 years maybe, 4 years. I've had it for a long time anyway. I've had this one for 5, and it served me well, and it's still going. It's still retaining its loft amazingly because I've thrashed the shit out of it, and I wash it. Not all the time, but actually wash it quite regularly. Maybe once every couple of months I'll wash it. And as you guys well know, I camp probably 3 nights of the week. I'm out in the bush camping, so I do a lot of camping. I do it for a job, I do it for fun. So I'll get a little bit over it actually. I'm over camping now. I'm looking forward to going back to my own bed. As you can probably tell by my eyes, I didn't have a great sleep last night camping. But this Black Stag, Stoney Creek Black Stag, Sleeping bags, very, very good. I don't know what the new ones are like. Usually when sleeping bags crap out, they crap out on the zipper. This zipper's been very, very good. It has failed in 2 spots, the sleeping bag has. It blew right where the, what do you call that, the elastic comes out. So it had a little tear there. I just super glued it back up and it seems to have been fine. And also, one of the anchors for the elastic, the drawstring that comes around the hood, that pulled off as well. But I pull it quite tight, and I just re-sewed that one back, and I just got a needle and thread and stitched it back in and re-anchored it. And Stoney Creek have addressed this issue. I told them about it and they've addressed it. I guess I'm one of the test teams, so I thrash the shit out of their gear, and if it fails I tell them where it fails and they fix it, and they've been really good so far at fixing stuff that fails. And the Stoney Creek range these days is almost bomb proof. It's very, very good equipment. I definitely rate it. They'll still get the odd piece of equipment that fails, but that's the go with new gear. You know, occasionally they won't get it right, but if they don't get it right, they fix it. Another thing I want to show you guys, Big Agnes sleeping giant pillow. I'm a bit of a sleeping giant when I'm sleeping, yes, and I hate going camping without a pillow. I always like to bring a pillow. Now I used to just bring a wool pillowcase, a woolen pillowcase, and stuff my shirts into it, which works bloody good. But now I've got this, which is even better. This is really good, the Sleeping Giant pillow. I think if I was doing a really lightweight extended raw trip and covering a lot of distance, I'd probably still use the thin wool pillowcase option. But if I'm not doing the hard yards and walking for miles and miles, and I've got a base camp to camp myself at, I'd use this Big Agnes Sleeping Giant pillow. Oh, this thing is the mutts nuts. It's so good. It's got an inflatable inside and also padding in it, and it packs down real sport. So you blow it up, when you finish using it, you just squeeze all the air out of it, stuff it into its pack. So as well as the airbag in there, it's got a bit of thin padding in there, and it's very, very comfortable. So you can inflate it to your desired thickness, and there you go. So you can have a big pillow if you want, you can have a small pillow if you want, you can half inflate it and fold it over and put it behind your head so you can read a book with it. It's really, really good. I definitely rate this thing. Been using it for a month or so now, and it's very good. I never leave home without it when I go camping now. It's awesome. Get one. This is the bag it comes in, but this bag actually squashes down to probably half the size, so you can jam it right into your pack.